I'm going to go ahead with the meeting beginning ritual. 起立，面向佛堂，参加先鞠躬，一鞠躬，再鞠躬，三鞠躬，参加各位的传世一鞠躬，开班一鞠躬，请坐下。So you guys been hearing me tell you for quite a few weeks now that the ordained masters will be visiting Seattle last Sunday, and this is that particular event. So it's nice to be able to put a face to names. So let me point out that we have so the ordained master, Master Joseph Chen here, and also Master Guo was with him, was also on site, but he does not appear in this particular picture. He sent this one to me. He likes to generally keep a low profile, and I can certainly appreciate that. So Master Joseph Chen here, and let me point out some of the people that you see. If you look at this lady here, that's Sue, her daughter Kailin, and her husband Michael. So this shrine, this house shrine, is in the home. Is in their house in Seattle, in a suburb of Seattle. So it was because they graciously decided to host the initiation ritual, what we call 求道, 传道, that everyone was able to have this gathering. And I'm especially happy to see Carmen here and Frank here. They used to be part of this group here in Southern California, but they moved to Seattle. So they've been keeping in touch by email, by internet connection, like what we're using now for this meeting. And I haven't seen them for years, so this is definitely a treat. Now, the people who are seeking the Tao, we have Daniel back here, the tall guy in the corner behind Master Chen, and Daniel's significant other, Amber, over here. Daniel was the one whom I have known for many years, I think probably 10 years. And he's always been interested, but he's never had the opportunity to really seek and receive the Tao. So when this opportunity came to light, he was very happy about that. He was very enthusiastic, and he also said that he wanted to go through the Qingkou ritual. Qingkou is the vegetarian vow, and that's because he decided to become a vegetarian. Now, whenever people want to seek the Tao or to go through the Qingkou ritual, my question for them is always the same. My question is, are you sure? Do you really want to go through with it? You realize that you can cultivate the Tao just as easily, just as well, without ever going through the ritual to receive the Tao. You realize that you can be a vegetarian or vegan just as easily, just as well, if you don't go through the Qingkou ritual and take a vegetarian vow. So in many cases, people will say, well, yeah, yes, I'm sure. And yeah, I know I don't need to do it. I want to do it. I hear the calling. Here I am responding to the calling. So I want to go through it, please. When they're that sure, who am I to stand in the way? I do everything I can to support them. So that was definitely the case with Daniel. And Amber wasn't sure, but she's always been interested. So Daniel introduced her to a whole bunch of websites, the books that I have written. Amber realized that it was really important to Daniel, and she loves him and wants to support him with everything that he does. So she decided to go through it as well, and it's something that's very compatible with her own beliefs. But the person who really kicked it off, the person who originated this whole thing was actually Worku over here. He was the one who originally asked, hey, is it possible to seek the Tao, to go through the ritual? I'm here in the Pacific Northwest. Is there like a temple nearby? And my answer to him was that, well, I'm not aware of any, but who knows what's going to happen in the future. But the Tao provides, somehow things come together, things work out, and suddenly we have the setting available. Suddenly we have the ordained masters who are only too happy to travel to Seattle to conduct the ritual. So when I told Worku, and I also mentioned that, well, listen, if you have friends who are interested, now is a good time to tell them. If they just want to go to support you, that's that's probably not a good idea, because in this particular ritual, to keep it special, there's no observers. People who want to go through it have to be present, and people who are only there to support, they have to wait outside until it's done. So if you have friends who want to go there, they will have to wait outside for you. Probably it'll be boring for them. But on the other hand, if they decide to go through it with you, it'll be a great shared experience. It's an adventure that all of you can go through together. So indeed, he's got friends who have always been interested in Eastern thoughts, in Buddhism, in the Tao. So he spoke with them. So here's Elijah, and here's Denise. So the three of them showed up. They all showed up really early. They're all really happy. And to the Chinese Tao cultivators, this takes them a little bit by surprise, because they live and grow up in the culture. They've begun to take it for granted. So it's rare for them to encounter Western seekers of the Tao, and to see how grateful and how excited they are, and that gratitude and excitement will actually rub off on these relatively cynical Chinese Tao cultivators. So it was a very positive experience for all of them. And they came back with those glowing descriptions, like, oh, it was a fantastic experience. Worku says, no, I'm going to have this memory with me always. It's so meaningful for him. And he said that I've been on this journey for a very long time. So he's been wanting this for a long time. And finally, here's the fulfillment of that wish. And everybody else was just as enthused. And I can only imagine that for Sue, Kailin, and Michael, that this was also very positive. These parents don't really talk a whole lot about the Tao to their daughter, and may not really be able to convey the authentic teachings. So their daughter really had no idea what the Tao was about. So when they tried to explain it to her, her reaction was that, well, it sounds like a cult, So her parents were like, oh, no, wait a minute. Anyhow, everything worked out for the best. I'm waiting to hear about the details. I am sure, I know that Master Guo is going to have a report on that, and also Daniel here in the back. He likes to write, so he wants to write up his experience and his thoughts about it too. So, he is, his friends and family are probably surprised about him becoming a vegetarian. Reason being that Daniel grew up in a farm. He had a background where, he basically ate meat his entire life, which, come to think of it, that was my background as well. But he decided that the time was right for him to make a change. And he says that the new diet is working out for him. He's already lost 8 pounds. So more power to Daniel. I'm gonna have to remember to send him some vegetarian and/or vegan recipes, so they can cook for themselves. They can be prepared. So congratulations to everyone who went through the ritual. And those of you who have gone through it, you know that after the ritual is done, someone explains the 3 treasures to you and takes you through a whole bunch of practices to make sure you have it with you and you can use it at all times. So I wasn't able to go there in person to be able to help in that regard. So I sent the most recent edition of the 3 treasures to Carmen and Frank, and I asked them to help trained the new people on the use of the three treasures, and that's exactly what they did. Those of you who are curious about what I sent to Carmen, you can see the original at the truedao.org website. And if you like me to be more specific, I can send you a link. Just let me know. I'd be more than happy to send that. Let's go ahead and do the meeting ending ritual, everybody. 起立，面向佛堂，持下三鞠躬，一鞠躬，再鞠躬，三鞠躬，持下规则是一鞠躬，接班一鞠躬。Okay, everybody, we are done.